how many of you have more month left over than money? Have you ever had that? What does that mean if you have more month left over than money?
No money left.
You just can't pay your bills. Am I right? And then you get all stressed out, frustrated, pissed off, angry. Eventually you get depressed and you go to work, right? And then you get to work and you're like thinking, I got to go make some money. So I'm going to show you today 4 secrets how you can make more money. And all you got to do is have an open mind. If you hear something good, just write it down. Because I've often heard the shortest pencil is better than the longest memory. And so a lot of people will come to these meetings and they're like, yeah, what am I going to get out of this? Well, we have some nice pastries, right? We have those. We have free coffee, right? And we need you all to eat those, right? So that there's no leftovers. Then did you tell them about the Coldwell Banker 2K? We'll be running around. So how many of you set your New Year's resolutions? How many of you kept them? How many of you broke them? I couldn't even get through the night. I said I was going on a diet. I told my wife, that's it, I'm done. I'm fattened up, cookied up. I drank too much wine. And on New Year's Day, you know, most people say, I'm going to lose weight. What else?
Save money.
Bullshit. They ain't going to save money. Come on. It's so hard. First off, it's harder to make the money. It's easy to spend it, and it's tough to save it. Is that right? Right? If you can't save money, that's because you got a bad habit. If you come to work and you're not organized and the day gets away from you, you got a bad habit. If you're not making enough money, it's probably because you don't have the right attitude or you don't have the right effort. Or for some people in this business, I would imagine to last at least a good amount of time, you have to have commitment. Is that true?
Yeah.
Do you think that everybody that goes to work at Coldwell Bankers is committed to giving their best every day? Yes or no? No. How come? How come they're not just committed to giving their best every day? Well, you get broadsided with life. Is that how many of you bring your life to work? Not your wife, but your life. Yeah, and you know what I'm talking about, right? The kids. That's tough. You know what? It's tough to negotiate. First off, y'all know me. You've seen my tall wife, the redhead. I just finally figured it out. Yes, you're right. Okay, and that seems to be working out okay, right? Because I figured some things you just can't negotiate with in life. Kids are a struggle, the old man's a struggle, the old lady's a struggle, and then you leave. Have you ever come to work pissed off, mad, and angry? If you have, put your hand up. Do you take it out on everybody, or are you just like quiet for hours? You know what they say, if you clam up, you're going to blow up, and it does happen. So what you got to do is you got to figure out how to manage your problems and not let your problems manage you. And a lot of times what happens is when you have your problems, it kind of controls and dictates your efforts. And so what first thing you don't want to do is let your feelings control or dictate your effort. Because your feelings lie to you every day. There are people that will wake up and they'll say, man, I feel like crap today. Really? Don't ever feel crap? I don't think you feel, I think it's a lot. Have you ever just looked in the mirror and just said, my God, I look old today? If you have, put your hand up. Like, I'm right there, right? Denial is not an addiction for me. When I look in the mirror, I don't see the red hair anymore. I don't see the same guy I saw 25 or 30 years ago. But I love getting old because the alternative is getting dead. I'm not interested in being dead. I'm interested in living right now and giving my best every single day. So my question is, how come you don't? Well, because people wake up and they play the have to game. Have you ever played have to? I have to go to work. I have to pay my bills. I have to. Who's ever played that before? I hate that. You don't have to do anything. As a matter of fact, you get to. And so what it really comes down to, you know, if you want to have a fabulous year in 2015, you got to power up your mind. Now, you've probably been to a lot of self-help clinics and all that kind of stuff, read books, heard tapes, watched YouTube, and people are always saying, you know, go for it. You can do it. Just do it. How many of you have ever heard all that stuff before? How many of you have ever even said that stuff, right? And then you start to take a step, and all of a sudden, man, you're pulled backwards. I've discovered something. After some 35, 40 years reading thousands of books, going to a lot of seminars, clinics, listening to tapes, going on YouTube, what you say is what you think. What you think is how you feel. How you feel is how you act. How you act is what you get because of what you say. Be careful of the words that you use. And people say, well, I don't think it's that important. Well, you should ask Google. What did Google do with keywords? They make billions from it. And you're putting keywords between your ears every single day. There are people that will say, well, you know, I wish, and there's others that say, I will. Oh no, forget hope. Hope is almost like it's a hopeless opportunity. A lot of people say, well, you know, I want to. Well, there's a difference between I want to and I'm going to. And so then we get back down to the famous word that has destroyed, wrecked, ruined a lot of people's lives, and it's called this word. If you want to reach your goals this year, if you're going to reach your goals this year, I beg of you to get rid of this word in your vocabulary and watch how you can change your life. Because you can't try to be successful. You either are or you aren't. You're either at the top or you're at the bottom. Now some people say, well, I've had a pretty good year. I was in the top 10. That's like talking to a hockey team and saying, you know, if we could just finish near the top, we had a successful year. Now I coached 15 years and I coached a lot of kids from the age of 6 up to 18 years old. And I always told my kids, this is a word we will never use ever again. You will never hear it out of my mouth because there's no future in it. As a matter of fact, the word TRY it's a noisy way of doing something but not getting it done. And the problem with it, you can't commit with that word. If you all want to sell more this year, you want to close more, follow-up, prospect, network, you need more money, you just have to change your thoughts. At first, change your words and start saying when you wake up in the morning, I don't have to go to work. I what? I get you. I get you. Thank God. Thank God I woke up today. That's the first thing I say every single day. Thank God I woke up. I'm pumped up, fired up, not giving up, letting up, shutting up until the day is up. And I gotta sell myself every single day because it's a struggle. And every one of us has a struggle, a failure, a fault, or a flaw, or a bad habit, a hurt, or a habit, yay or nay. We all have them, but a lot of times they manage us instead of us managing them. And I always say, you know, I had the biggest surprise of my life today, and my wife would roll over and she said, what is it? And I said, honey, I'm getting up, pumped up, fired up, not letting up, shutting up until God takes me out. You see, your problems aren't your problems, it's what your problems do to you. Most of the time the problem is called your attitude. The problem with most people is they let the situation affect the attitude instead of letting the attitude affect the situation. And what that means is something happens to you early in the day and all of a sudden you're pissed off, mad, frustrated, and angry, and you say, I just can't wait until this day is what? But when you're ready to die, you're going to say, I wish I had more what? I wish I had more days. The most precious asset a person has in life is this. It's not your money, it's not your attitude, it's not your health, it's not your wife, your kids, the position you have, it's your time. Because you only have so much of it. So what are you doing with your time? And what are you giving it to? And who are you giving it to? And so what you have to do is you have to manage, not the time, because you can't add an extra second. You got to manage your activities. And so you have to have priority management. George, what are you talking about? Well, if you're in a relationship, you certainly don't want to do what with your time? Waste it. If you got a problem with your relationship, go get help. Well, that means you got to move your pride and your ego. And a lot of people say, well, no, I can figure it out on my own. Oh, no. That's when you start getting in trouble. Now, you come to work. What do you want to do with your time? You want to use it. And people come to work, and what do they do with their time? They waste it. And what do they waste it on? Time killers, long lunches, coffee breaks. Maybe we can go do some go piss. You ever done go piss at work? This is one of my favorite. Go piss. Gossip spelled halfway backwards. It kind of runs around the office, right? Right? Mom said if you don't have something good to say, don't what? Say it. Why didn't we just listen to Mom? She was a great coach. Time killers could be too many coffee breaks. People today cannot get rid of their cell phones. Y'all ever notice that? We call them FOMOs today, F-O-M-O. And FOMOs are checking their phone on an average 150 plus times a day. I go to Facebook. Why do people go to Facebook when they're at work? If you're going there to go to work, I can understand. I'm so sick and damn tired of people posting pictures of food on Facebook. Guess what? I closed my damn account. I found out it was a distraction. I'd be writing and all of a sudden I'd be, okay, I thought I was back in high school. I need more likes. I mean, I started to become a likeaholic. Y'all ever met a likeaholic? You told me 3 likes. My name's Greg. I don't think people post all the things on Facebook that are true. Do you? I mean, it's almost like high school, isn't it? I gotta be a likeaholic. I gotta be popular. Listen, the goal is to go to work and what?
Work.
All right, I've got 2 ways for you to be a better salesperson this year. One is eliminate distractions. Take the distraction and eliminate it, or reduce it. And number 2 is learn how to say no. You have to learn how to say no to activities that are not going to lead you to a sale. And all we're asking you to do is come to work and actually what? Work. Because there's only a few things you can manage at work. And one of them is your activities, 2 is your energy, and 3 are your activities. That's what you can manage. The rest you have no control over. You might think you have control. You don't. You got to give up control to get control. Because when you're in a sales job, it's all about production. It's all about effort. It's all about activities. And most people today, you see them, and I've seen some of these people, and I said this last time I was here, I've seen some of the people that sold me stuff. I haven't heard from them in years. I can't understand why they don't follow up, but they're good at giving up. You can't give up, you follow up. Oh, I don't like follow up, it hurts. What hurts about it? Well, I can't stand when I call a customer and they said they already what?
Bought some.
Damn! There goes your attitude. Now you're pissed off, mad, frustrated, and angry, right? You just want to call it a what? A month. And say this month's over, I'm going to get them when? I'm going to get them next month. Yep. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go. Well, honey, the month's not over yet. I know, but my attitude's down. You can change and transform your mind in a second by what you say. And, you're selling yourself all day long. That's the sale you have to make. And when you come to work, you have to have focus. Well, what does focus mean? Well, how could you be focused if you're wasting time or killing time? Do people kill time at work, yes or no? Zig Ziglar said, if you kill time, you should be arrested for murder. That was it. I didn't make this stuff up, man. Most of the stuff I got, I found from reading, listening, and learning. I've read probably over 7,000 books. And I've studied what makes people tick. Some people are more hungrier than others. You ever met a PhD? I love PhDs. Poor, hungry, and driven. Have you ever been there? Like, you're so poor, you just get desperate, and, I'll tell you what, man, there's opportunity everywhere. Man, if I worked on this mountain, dude, I'd own it. I'd be the number 1 realtor in the office, because that's all I would aim for. Why would you aim for anything less than number 1? Well, I'm kind of just giving this a shot for a while. I'm going to try it out. Well, hell, you've been trying it out for 19 years. When are you going to come in? Right? I mean, I don't know if many people wake up and say, what are you going to do when you grow up? Most people say, what? I'm going to be a lawyer, a doctor, a fireman. What people say? I'm going to be a realtor. So how did you get in? Well, I had another job. Well, you know what the word job spells, right? Just over broke. You see, I'm making this shit up, man. A job, I'm telling you, I didn't make it up. I got it from Dennis Whaley. A job doesn't have commitment. A job, listen to what I'm going to say. A job is what you do. That's all it is. And the problem is with most people who have a job, they quit learning. They quit changing. And so then they start using what for their failures? No, use excuses. And have you ever noticed people that use excuses are experts at it? They will defend them to the end of their life. It's like they'll build a wall and they'll blame everything on who? Well, the market's not good. Okay. Well, how long have we used that one up here? I mean, that's almost like a staple. That's like going to the store getting milk. Market's not good. No kidding. But for some, it's good. You got to make the market. You got to cultivate. You got to develop the market. Well, how the hell do I do that? 3 ways. You got to prospect, you got to network, and you got to follow up. Let me say it again. Prospect, network,